Hi, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. Luke's going to be joining me in a moment. I just want to go over a couple of quick rules, a little refresher. So we have a ranged minion on the table. I just want to remind you about how ranged minions behave. On their turn, if there are no targets in their line of sight, then you'll roll for movement and they will move towards the closest mouse, stopping as soon as they have line of sight to a target. So as long as it has a target at the start of its turn, it's not going to move at all. Instead, it's just going to attack the closest target that it can see. If there's more than one target that is closest, it will attack the target that hasn't been attacked this round. If there's more than one target that hasn't been attacked this round, or if all of them have been attacked this round, then you look at the initiative track, and it will target whichever one's highest on that initiative track. And then we have mouse traps. If you try to move across a mouse trap, you have to pause. You have to stop and see if you actually successfully cross that mouse trap without springing it. So what you do is you take your movement value and you roll that number of dice. Now, if you're a tinkerer, you can instead use your lore value and roll that number of dice. As long as you roll a star, no problem, keep moving, and you get to go by it without springing the trap. However, if you don't roll a star, in other words, if you're a slow-moving animal, maybe you don't roll very many dice, and therefore you don't roll the star that you need, the trap is sprung. In that situation, you are then knocked down, you take a wound, and you have to end your turn there. That said, you do get to collect a cheese, the cheese that was in the trap. So it's not all bad, but still, most of the time, you're going to want to try to get right across that. Now, in our particular tile, the trap is off in a direction where we don't really need to go, so we'll probably be able to avoid dealing with that trap altogether. But in your own games, that's something to keep in mind, because in some scenarios, those traps will definitely be in your way. All right, we're back, and I've been joined by
Luke Smith.
And we're ready to continue with our playthrough using a Playmaker submission that came to us from
John Mackin?
That's right. Thanks, John, for the submission. Now, John wants to move Maganos forward here into the battle a little bit. He wants to get a range on this rat warrior, the regular one that's around the corner here. So let's get you to the table, and we'll see how this goes. So as we said, Maganos is going to use his movement to slide up here 3 spaces, peek around the corner, and find that rat warrior. Now that he's in line of sight, he can attack him. He's going to use the Mystic Bolt. Now that's going to cost him 1 cheese. So we're taking 1 cheese and we're putting that away. But now we get to roll 3 dice for this attack. Luke, you go ahead and roll the dice. Let's get some bows and arrows.
1, 4 cheese because it's a special ability.
That's right.
Whoa.
Okay, so Maganos, only 1 potential hit, which is good. But the best part here is he just grabbed 4 cheese because he gets 2 cheese for every 1 cheese that he rolls. That's his special ability. Remember, that only happens when he's attacking. So it's my job now to roll the defense for the rat warrior. 2 dice. Oh, he blocked the attack. So Maganos didn't manage to do any damage there.
But his pockets are full of cheese.
Yes, they are. So our next move comes to us from Joshua Patterson for Colin. And I like what a lot of you guys are doing, because you don't know what Maganos is going to do. You don't know what we're going to do. So a lot of the times he'll propose, if this happens, then do this. And if that doesn't happen, then do this instead. And that's really helpful. So in this situation, if the rat next to them was not killed, he wants to go after this rat. So we'll get you back to the table. We'll see how he wants to do it. So Joshua wants to use Colin's movement to instead use the Give Order ability. Remember, that costs 1 cheese. So he's going to spend that, and that's going to allow him to give an order to Tilda. And he wants Tilda to use all of her bonuses to attack this rat warrior here. So let's add up her bonuses. First of all, she's going to get 2 dice. That's her regular battle value. Then she has the Ring of Cat Strength. That gives her another die. And then she gets a bonus from her mace. For each wounded mouse on her space, she's going to get a bonus. So, although she's wounded, that doesn't count. But Colin is wounded, so she's going to get another die for that. So that's 4 dice. So we'll roll those now. And since I'm Tilda, I'll do the rolling. Hopefully things will go well. And we'll see how much, hopefully, potential hits we get against the rat warrior. Pretty good. 3 potential hits. I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. We'll put these aside. And now we'll have that Rat Warrior roll its defense. And Luke, why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay.
Let's see what you get.
Let's see me be unlucky, Luke.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very good. Okay, so in that situation, no blocks at all. That means the damage gets through. And we're going to be able to remove this Rat Warrior right from the board. Okay, well listen, that's it for Colin. Except, now, the player didn't say this, but we only used up his move action. So let's use up his main action to do
search.
A search. So we're going to roll a die and we'll see if we actually find anything. Remember, we need to find a star. Go ahead.
Yes!
There is a star. I know you can't see it from there, but there definitely is a star. All right, so we will draw a card. This is another trick card. It's called Intense Cowering. Play this card when this mouse is selected by a minion as the target of an attack. That minion cannot attack this mouse during this turn, and if possible, must choose a new target. Okay, so that's an interesting one. That one is going to go to Colin, so we'll put that in his pack, and now we'll be moving on. Who's next? Nez, that's you.
Yay.
So we'll bring you to the table. Let's see what Luke wants to do.
First thing I gotta do is roll for my movement, which is free.
That is very good. Okay.
4 in total.
Yes, you get lots of options here.
I'll go here.
Okay. Now, what's your strategy? What are you trying to do here?
I want this elite rat warrior to attack him instead of Maganos, because this one's attacked Maganos, and then this one will attack Maganos too.
Right, if you weren't there, Maganos would get double teamed, and Maganos has only got, what, 3 health? Yeah, 3 health. So that could be really dangerous. So very heroic of you, Luke. I like that. Now, what would you like to do for your action?
Search.
Okay, so Luke's going to do a search. So this time you will get to see what we roll on our search.
Yeah. Yes!
Another successful search. So we had another successful search. Now, I forgot to do this for Colin. I'll do it right now. We're using these little white gems to sort of keep track of who has successfully searched on a tile. So we're going to have to move Nez's over as well. And now we get to draw a card off the top. Let's see what you get.
Invoke Cheddar Golem.
Invoke Cheddar Golem. Okay, well, what is it? Okay, first of all, it requires a lore of 3, which
he only
is only Maganos. Okay, so only Maganos can use this card. What's it do?
When a mouse uses a scroll, its battle becomes a 4 and its defense becomes a 3. Once there are no minions remaining on the tile with the scroll's user, the effect of the scrolls ends.
So Luke and I have played this game a few times, but this is the first time we've ever pulled this card, and this is pretty cool. So I guess the idea here is that for a period of time, you've created this golem made out of cheese that will attack and defend for you. And it's got really good stats, a 4 attack and a 3 defense. Yeah. That's no joke. All right, so listen, you have a free action here.
Yeah.
And I'd suggest that you use it to trade this right now to Maganos, because you're adjacent to Maganos right now, and he's the only one who can use that ability. All right, or that scroll. Okay, well, listen, it's now time for the Rat Warriors. Yes, the Rat Warriors' turn. So we'll bring you guys back to the table. Let's see what happens. So, of course, the first thing this Rat Warrior is going to do is it's going to move. And I just want to point out a little reminder here once again. Minions are not affected by tile effects, including mouse traps. So the Rat Warrior is not going to have any trouble skating across that mouse trap or even staying on that same space with it. All right, here's the movement for that Rat Warrior. Oh, this is perfect. Yes. A 1. It's not going to be within range of Maganos. It's not attacking Maganos. That's fantastic. And after finishing its turn, the Rat Warrior has that special ability called Aggressive, which means it moves 1 space up on the initiative track. And now it's time for Tilda to take her turn. So the first thing Tilda needs to do is roll a die to see what her movement's going to be for this turn. She starts with a base of 2, and we're adding 1. So this doesn't give me a lot of options, but I think I'm going to move 3 spaces over here and go on the same space as Maganos. Just in case, if Maganos gets wounded next turn, that's going to again boost Tilda's mace power. And then I'm going to roll a die and try to do a search. So I need to get another star. Man, we are successfully searching every single time.
And I'll put the search gem on here.
All right. And I'm going to draw a card. Oh, I'm going to put it back. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. It says moldy cheese. That can't be good. Play immediately. It's a treachery card. remove all cheese from this mouse's stash. And look, you can even see in the picture, it actually is Tilda with the moldy cheese. So she's going to lose 2 of her cheese. All right, so those go back to the cheese stash. Unfortunately, this one gets removed. And let's go back to the table and see what happens next. So finally, that elite rat warrior gets to attack. He's had lots of time to size up his shot. He doesn't have to move because he has a target. What is it?
Me,
That's right. And he gets to roll 3 dice. And I'm going to roll those dice, and we don't want to see bows and arrows.
Here we go. 1.
So now Luke gets to roll defense, and he's going to be rolling 2 dice. All right, Luke, go ahead and roll. You have to get at least 1 shield. No shield.
But cheese.
But cheese. So Nez is going to get to collect 2 cheese, but also a single wound. We'll add both of those to his card. And then those elite rat warriors also have the aggressive ability, so it's going to move up 1 space on the initiative track. That means Tilda is now in the last position. Okay, well listen, that wraps this turn up, so now we have to turn it back over to you guys. And once again, Meganos is going to be first, and that's going to be one of our playmakers. So we'll ask one of our playmakers to submit a move for that, and then Colin will be up, and we'll need all of you guys to help us decide what Colin should do on his turn. So as always, we really appreciate you guys participating in the videos with us. We'll be back really soon with the next one. So until then, thanks for watching.